Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today in this lecture we will continue with the discussion on year-end report or the review of Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. In the last lecture we have discussed about the production scenario in Indian agricultural economy, the rabi crops, the kharif crops, what was the production in the last year. We have also seen what is the target of government in doubling the farmers' income, and we have discussed about the inter-ministerial committee which was constituted by the government in order to identify the issues in agrarian sector and also to come up with recommendations that will help in doubling the farmers' income by 2022. We have seen the 7 sources of income growth for the farmers, and we have also seen some of the initiatives taken by the government like the market reforms, Model Contract Farming Act, Gramin Hearts, ENAM initiative, Soil Health Card, Per Drop More Crop Scheme, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, Har Med Par Ped Yojana, and we have discussed about the National Bamboo Mission, PM Asha scheme. We also discussed on the increase in MSPs. We have discussed about Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, Rashtriya Gokul Mission, National Livestock Mission, Blue Revolution, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So all these were discussed in the previous lecture. So if you have not yet watched the previous lecture on year-end review of Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, please find the first part of this series on the StudyIQ channel. And now in this part 2 of this series, we will be continuing with our discussion on year-end review of Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. So we will start with the key schemes, initiatives and activities regarding higher production through productivity gains. The first scheme we will discuss is the National Food Security Mission. The National Food Security Mission program is being implemented across the country, and the target of this program is to increase the production and the productivity of the food grain, including rice, wheat, pulses, coarse cereals and nutri-cereals. So 2 targets, one is to increase the production and second one increase the productivity. Now what is the difference between production and productivity? Production is in terms of quantity. So the quantity of produce should be increased or the quantity produced should be increased. And productivity means the quality of the production. Because if there is a piece of land which is 1 hectare, increasing productivity means if earlier the production in that particular piece of land was suppose 1 quintal, now the productivity will have to be increased. The quantity from the same piece of land should be increased. So National Food Security Mission is implemented across the country for increasing the production and productivity of food grain crops, which includes rice, wheat, pulses, coarse cereals and nutri-cereals. And how is this scheme implemented? This is done through area expansion and productivity enhancement. So under area expansion, the area under cultivation is expanded, and second is the productivity enhancement. So the productivity is enhanced. And third focus is on restoring the soil fertility and productivity at the individual farm level. So we have already discussed about the soil health cards. So soil fertility is improved in order to increase the productivity at individual farm level. And next focus is on enhancing farm level economy to restore confidence among the farmers. So these are the key or focus areas of National Food Security Mission, and as per the target, National Food Security Mission has achieved the bumper production of rice, wheat, pulses, nutri-cum-coarse cereals, etc. during the year 2017-18. And the total food grains production achieved during 2017-18 is around 284 million tons, and this is almost a 3.5% increase against the last year. That is in 2016-17, the production was 3.5 lesser than the production achieved in 2017-18. And also various initiatives were taken for increasing the production and productivity of pulses, nutri-cereals, etc. Some of the initiatives were breeder seed production of pulses and nutri-cereals, creation of seed hubs, certified seed production, and creating a buffer stock to control the price fluctuation. Now this is in brief about National Food Security Mission. Now we will see Krishi Unnati Mela. So what is Krishi Unnati Mela? It is a national level awareness generation program. So the third national level Krishi Unnati Mela was organized by the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. So the department is responsible for the conduct of Krishi Unnati Mela, and the objective of this is to create a widespread awareness about the latest agricultural technological developments, and also it aims at receiving feedback from the agricultural community. So it creates an awareness among the farming community about the latest technological developments in agriculture, and it also receives a feedback from the agricultural community in this regard. And also various initiatives like how to enhance the farmers' income through micro irrigation, neem coated urea, effectiveness of crop insurance scheme, etc. were showcased in the Mela. So these are some of the recent initiatives of the government. Government is focusing on micro irrigation projects like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, etc. in order to minimize the use of groundwater and to attain resource use efficiency. So micro irrigation projects are being developed and being implemented. Also neem coated urea has been introduced by the government, and crop insurance facilities are provided through the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So in all this, an awareness generation is the most important part, because most of the farmers are unaware about all these developments in the field of agriculture. So Krishi Unnati Mela tries to bring in an awareness about all these latest initiatives and schemes and developments of the agricultural sector. Now the next one is the Mahila Kisan Divas. Mahila Kisan Divas was organized on October 14th and 15th of 2018, and this was organized with the participation of various stakeholders like women farmers, women entrepreneurs, academia, research scholars, farmer organization, banking sector representatives, industrial representatives, etc. So it was not just a agricultural initiative, but there was widespread participation from all these stakeholders, and the focus of this Mahila Krishi Divas was to learn and address issues related to women farmers in agriculture and allied sectors. So the women farmers face a lot of challenges or shortcomings in the agricultural sector. For example, unequal pay for the women farmers. Another one is lack of collateral, because most of the property or farmland would be registered in the name of the husband or the male head of the family. So women lack collateral facilities. Thereby access to credit has been challenged for the women farmers. So all these issues were addressed, and all these issues were discussed in the Mahila Krishi Divas, and access to institutional credit, microfinancing, etc. All these issues were brought into the fora, and they were discussed, and recommendations or how to address these issues had been discussed in Mahila Krishi Divas. So this is Mahila Krishi Divas in brief. And next one is Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. So it aims at the development of horticulture, which will provide an additional income to the farmers. Additional areas were covered under the mission for identified horticulture crops in organic farming. Besides integrated pest or nutrient management, horticulture mechanization, beekeeping initiatives, market and manage infrastructure facilitation were taken. Also, training for the farmers were taken up. So, training and market management were also included in the mission for integrated development of horticulture, other than the traditional areas like the integrated pest management or nutrient management or mechanization of horticulture, etc. Training and market management was provided under the mission. Next one is the use of information technology. Many number of farmers registered themselves on M-Kisan portal. The M-Kisan portal comes under the Department of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. M-Kisan portal is for receiving agro advisories. And the next one is Kisan Suvidha app. The downloads of Kisan Suvidha app also increased. 4 new services were added to Kisan Suvidha app. Now there are in total 10 services available in the Kisan Suvidha app. This is to help the farmers in various areas. Next one is Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. It is aimed at strengthening the infrastructure in agriculture and allied areas. So Krishi Vikas Yojana aims at increasing the infrastructure, and a new component was added under the Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, and it is called remunerative approaches for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation. So this was launched in the year 2018-19, and this new subcomponent, that is remunerative approaches for agriculture and allied sector rejuvenation, promotes agricultural entrepreneurship by providing financial support and also by nurturing the incubation system. So these are some of the initiatives undertaken by the ministry in order to increase the production through productivity gains. And now we will come to the schemes which are aimed at reduction in the cost of cultivation. So the following schemes will aim at reducing the cost of cultivation, thereby increasing the farmer's income. So what happens when the cost of cultivation or cost of production comes down? The profit margin of the farmers will go up. So these schemes are aimed at increasing the profit of farmers, thereby doubling farmers' income by 2022. The first scheme is Agricultural Mechanization Crop Residue Management Scheme. This is a new scheme introduced by the ministry. This is a central sector scheme, and this is for the promotion of agricultural mechanization for in situ management of crop residue. It means that mechanization or the use of machinery will be promoted in order to manage the crop residue, that is after harvest what is left out, that is the crop residue. So in situ management means management of the crop residue within the farm itself without taking it away from the farm and managing it somewhere outside. So in situ management means managing the crop residue inside the farm itself after the harvest or post harvest. So this is aimed at promoting mechanization for in situ management of crop residue, and this is applicable especially for the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and the National Capital Territory of Delhi for the period of 2018-19 to 2019-20. This is a very important scheme, and from the examination point of view this is very, very important, because in these 4 states we will see that Punjab, Haryana, UP and National Capital Territory of Delhi, the air pollution index or the air quality index is very low. The quality of the air in these 4 areas or states are very low, and one major reason for this is improper management of the crop residue or the stubble burning. We have discussed about stubble burning issue. If you want to know more about stubble burning issue, please find the video on stubble burning on the YouTube channel StudyIQ, or you can find it on my Facebook page. So please refer to the video on stubble burning on StudyIQ channel. You will get more understanding of the topic. What are the concerns regarding stubble burning? What are the reasons for that? And how government has tried to address this issue. So this is a very important scheme, because crop residue management in these 4 states has been a major cause of concern for the central government as well as for all the state governments. And since it is a central sector scheme, the entire financing for the scheme is done by the government. And the sub-components of the scheme include: one is the financial assistance to groups and organizations for establishing farm machinery banks for custom hiring of in situ crop residue management machinery. For example, happy seeder machine. So a financial assistance will be provided to groups and organizations for hiring of this farm machinery in order to manage the crop residue. And the second component is the financial assistance which are provided directly to the individual farmers, and this assistance is for the procurement of agricultural machinery and equipment for in situ crop residue management. This is directly given to farmers. And thirdly, financial assistance has been given to institutions for information, education, communication or awareness generation for the in situ crop residue management. So the target of government is to manage the crop residue in situ or within the farm itself, because especially in these 4 states it has caused a major cause of concern affecting the air quality of the states, creating a lot of health issues and public protest regarding this. Next is the soil health management. Soil health management is one of the components under the National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. So we have already discussed about National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture in the previous lecture, and we have seen that National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is one among the 8 missions of the Prime Minister's National Action Plan on Climate Change. So sustainable agriculture will play a major role in tackling the climate change issue. So this is a very important mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. And one of the sub-components of National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is soil health management. And what is the aim of soil health management? One, it is to promote integrated nutrition management through judicious use of chemical fertilizers. So use of chemical fertilizers should be judicious, and thereby the quality of the soil should be managed. The nutritional level of the soil should be maintained through proper and judicious use of chemical fertilizers. Now, second target or aim of this program is to strengthen soil and fertilizer testing facilities. So, the quality of soil and fertilizers should be tested, and for that facilities should be developed, and to provide facilities for this testing and recommendations should be provided accordingly to the farmers to improve the soil fertility. Third aim is to ensure quality control requirements of fertilizers, biofertilizers, organic fertilizers under the Fertilizer Control Order of 1985. So, next is quality control. The fourth one is upgradation of skill and knowledge of soil testing laboratory staff, extension staff, farmers through training and demonstrations. So, providing training and demonstration is another aim, and the fifth aim is to promote organic farming practices. So, please understand and have an idea about all the sub-components of the scheme. If you observe some of the questions asked in UPSC preliminary examination, you will see that some schemes would be given, and it will follow certain statements, and statements would be on the sub-components of the scheme, which ministry implements it, or what is the corpus, etc. So you need to have an understanding about all the sub-components, and please have an understanding of the sub-components of soil health management. This is a very important scheme under the ministry. So please have an understanding about the scheme, sub-components, and also understand Department of Agriculture, Corporation, and Farmers Welfare is the implementing agency or the implementing authority of this scheme. And under the soil management or soil health management scheme, funds are released to the states because agriculture is a state subject, and the funds are released to states for setting up of static, mobile and village soil testing laboratories, and also fertilizer quality control labs. Next is a soil health card scheme. It is under implementation since 2015. So the aim is to provide soil health card to all the farmers in the country. Repeated questions have been asked in UPSC preliminary examination regarding soil health card. What are the components? What is the target of providing soil health card to the farmers, etc. So this is a very important area. Have an understanding that soil health cards are distributed to the farmers to provide an awareness about the quality of the soil. It provides information to farmers on soil nutrient status. So, by understanding the soil nutrient status, farmers will be better aware of what fertilizers needs to be used, what dosage needs to be applied, etc. So, this will provide a recommendation on appropriate dosage of nutrient to be applied, and this will provide farmers with the current status of their quality of the soil. And the soil health card is issued to the farmer every 2 years for the land holdings. Another important scheme is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. It aims to promote organic farming in the country. It is first of its kind comprehensive scheme launched as a centrally sponsored scheme. That means it is a centrally sponsored scheme. That means 100% of the financial part will not be taken by the center. States also will contribute to the financial part of it. So, this is shared by the center and the states. We will come to the details of it. So, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. It started in 2015. Next 3 years till 2017. Now, it is being extended for another 3 more years. And funds are given as incentives to farmers for organic conversion. That means to change the pattern of farming from traditional farming to organic farming. So under organic farming, organic inputs will be used. The use of fertilizers, pesticides, etc. will be minimized. And the government provides incentives to farmers on on-farm inputs or production infrastructure, etc. And we will come to the implementation of the scheme. Since it is a centrally sponsored scheme, the financial part is shared between the states as well as by the center. So in case of northeastern states, the 8 states in the northeastern region and the 3 states of Jammu and Kashmir, the 3 hilly states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, for all the states the ratio will be 90:10. That means center will contribute 90%, 10% will be contributed by the state government. And in case of union territories, 100% financial assistance will be provided by the central government. So there will be 100% central funding in union territory, and rest of the states, it will be in a ratio of 60:40. That means central government will provide 60% and 40% by the state government. So this is also important in objective type questions, especially UPSC preliminary examination. Such kind of details can be asked. So please keep in mind, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. It is not a central sector scheme. If it was a central sector scheme, 100% of the financial assistance would have been provided by the central government itself. Now it is a centrally sponsored scheme where financial part will be shared by both the center as well as the states. Next is the Mission Organic Value Chain Development for the Northeastern region. It is a central sector scheme. So central sector scheme means 100% financial assistance will be provided by center. And the aim is to capitalize on the organic farming potential of northeastern India. So the northeastern part of India has a huge potential for improving organic farming. And remember, Sikkim is the first organic state in the country. So in order to improve or capitalize on the farming potential, organic farming potential of northeastern area, the scheme has been launched. And it covers the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Sikkim and Tripura. So the 8 northeastern states are covered under the scheme. The scheme aims at development of certified organic production in a value chain mode. This will link the growers with the consumers. It also supports the development of an entire value chain covering value chain production, processing, marketing and support agencies. Now the next is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinjai Yojana, per drop more crop. The per drop more crop component of the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinjai Yojana has become operational from financial year 2015 to 16, and the focus of this is to improve the water use efficiency at farm level through micro irrigation. So it targets on micro irrigation projects like the sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, etc. So we will come to the components. The components of per drop more crop is precision irrigation like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation, etc. Second focus is better on-farm water management practices in order to optimize the use of water resources. So better water management practices. And third one is micro level water storage or water conservation. Next is the micro irrigation fund. It is a dedicated fund in NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So it is under NABARD and it has an initial corpus of 5,000 crore. This is very important. Micro irrigation fund, it is under the NABARD and also corpus is 5,000 crore, which was announced in the union budget of 2017-18. And the main objective is to facilitate the states in mobilizing resources for expanding coverage of micro irrigation. Micro irrigation example, sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, etc. States can undertake special projects or innovative projects to improve micro irrigation in the particular state. So this is under NABARD and corpus is 5,000 crore. Such type of questions are favorite for UPSC. They ask these kinds of questions in preliminary examination. You need to know the facts. Now the last one is Rain-Fed Area Development Program. And this RAD program comes under National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture. National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture is very important for any examination point of view, because it is one among the 8 schemes under the Prime Minister's National Action for Climate Change. And RAD program focuses on integrated farming system. So it aims at enhancing productivity and minimizing the risk associated with climate variability. So rain-fed area development program minimizes or aims at minimizing the risk of climate variability. Indian agriculture is vulnerable to climate, especially for monsoon dependency. If the rain is more, it will cause flood, and if it is less, it will cause drought. So what happens? Indian agriculture mainly dependent on monsoon, and it will be impacted highly due to any change in the climatic pattern or in the monsoon pattern. So in order to minimize the risk of climate variability, RAD program has been introduced, Rain-Fed Area Development Program. And the crops or the cropping system is integrated with activities like horticulture, livestock, fishery, agroforestry, etc. in order to minimize the risk associated with climatic variability. So these are all the important initiatives of the Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare. You can find the entire document of the year-end review on the PIB website. I will also upload it on my Facebook page. You can download it. You can go through it. It's a very lengthy document. I have covered almost all the important areas discussed in the document. And for specific topics like soil health card, etc., you can refer to the specific videos which are available on StudyIQ channel. And if you have any queries regarding the lecture, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you. I wish you all a very good day.